Well, greetings. Welcome to the Tech Talks podcast and YouTube video. Now this week, I'm going to talk to you about raising finance. I'm doing a little mini series of like TED Talks shorts. So they're going to be sort of like 5 minutes each. They'll be on YouTube and they'll be on my podcast. Let's test it out. I normally put longer content out because it's just easier and more efficient to do that and the way I edit it. But let's try some shorts and let's see if you take value from it. Please let me know, send me a DM, comment below, and I'll keep doing them. So today is 3 tips, I'll probably do 5, on raising angel, so private investor finance. Not bridging, not mortgages, but from private investors. The first one, be honest and transparent. 2 different things, but very similar. Being honest means telling the truth, showing the reality of your deals is more being transparent. So being honest means I have 1 property, Miss Investor, not, oh, I've got 20, yeah, I'm a big shot, yeah, you can loan me money. No, being honest is the number 1 thing, because without honesty, how can they trust you to be who you say you are, to do what you say you're going to do, and with their money, whether it's their savings, whatever. How can they trust you, full stop, if you are not honest and you're not who you say you are, or you're not doing what you say you're going to do, right? So honesty is so important. Now, when you have a brand in social media, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. So it's a double-edged sword, and that's in the very best way, because it holds you accountable to being honest, because someone can call you out and ruin your rep pretty quickly if they have the evidence, if you're not being honest. So you have to be honest. And the transparency aspect is that I really think, personally, it's important to show the ups, the downs, like you've heard from my podcast about flipping, and every podcast about, your journey. Show the mistake, show the vulnerability, show the weakness. People want to know that you're human and that if you have a problem, you can sort it. One of my investors said to me a few weeks back, he was going to loan me about 200 grand, but it didn't work out at the time because I had a different investor, still looking to work with him. He said, Tej, just out of nowhere, he said, Tej, you know what, if something goes wrong on your deals, which I'm sure it will, as it often does in property, I trust that you know someone, if you can't yourself, who could fix this issue or fix it for you because of your network, because of your brand. And I said, actually, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. But I've got an investor here, a wealthy investor, telling me this. And for me, that's a sign, and a sign that I want to share with all of you, that if you're transparent, showing pictures, showing updates, showing the reality, showing your viewings, and that you work with investors, it's only a good thing, especially combined with honesty. Another thing is being trustworthy, and that links to kind of everything we're saying before, like doing what you're saying you're doing and showing the world that builds trust. Little things like going to events builds trust. People see you face to face, other people see you out and about. Having a brand, being what they call an influencer, builds trust because it shows that, oh, people listen to this person. Oh, look at that. Speaking on stage builds trust. Having meetings face to face, having phone calls, having texts, having multiple touch points with someone will build trust. Trust is not built instantly, but you can break it instantly. It's like a mirror. The cracks are still going to show when you repair that shit. Like render. You try repair render on the back of a house, that shit gonna be visible until you replace all of it, right? So be very careful with trust and don't rush it. Some people will trust you instantly, some will take longer, but it's a process. And also, the more properties you have, the more experience you have, the more trust people are gonna have in you. Would you lend your money to someone who had 0 properties? I would not. I wouldn't. No one lent to me when I had 0 properties, but they may, and they will. But 1, 2, 3, 4 properties in, people are trusting what you're doing a lot more than when you had 0 properties and were just doing viewings. But they still want to know when you have 0 properties and you're doing viewings to show you're out there, you're putting an effort in, you're diligent. Oh, 100 viewings for 1 accepted. Whew. I'm in good hands because you're bloody diligent, you're persistent, you were going to get stuff done, and that's really important. And trust gets built up. As soon as a person loans to you once and you pay them back and you pay the interest, believe me, the trust goes. I've had an investor lent me 180 grand, and she said, that's enough. For now, sort of cap it at 200, and basically we're capped already. Once you pay your loans back, we'll speak about. Well, anyways, I bought 2 more properties, 88 grand for both, and was looking for investment, and I didn't ask her at first because she said, not doing any more yet. I said, cool. But it's been a few months, paying the interest, all good. I just sent her a message saying, hey, by the way, I've secured 2 more deals at auction. I know you're not, you said you weren't sort of going to invest anymore. Just thought I'd let you know, just in case. Yeah, cool. I'll send you the term sheets. Just send me the addresses and the details and the legal packs. And yeah, we're cool. I was like, oh, but you said you would. Right? So, as soon as you have a loan with someone, and as soon as someone says they have 10, 20 grand and they invest with you, they probably have 40, 50 grand. But they're not going to invest all of it with you at first. Why would they? Unless they're your mum or your dad, and even then they might not. So you got honesty / transparency, you got trust, and then the next one is, now this is something that people don't talk about often. People say, oh, people invest in people, and they do, and they absolutely do. But one that I guess isn't spoken about that much because people focus on the people is the deal. Like, you got to have a bloody good deal, right? You got to have solid exits, and exits if things go wrong. You got to have bought it at a good price, have good builders, have a good refurb program in place, have the funding if they're not funding it to cover this. Have hopefully, and you will have some experience in refurbs, not essential, but of course it helps. But you need to have a good deal, because if you have a shit deal, but you're an incredible person, why am I going to give you my money? Because you're great and you can turn a turd into gold, but this deal is crap. So I don't care how good you are, the deal is crap, and it's crap. So therefore, if I invest, I don't care if you're Jesus walking on water or if you're like an idiot. The deal is rubbish. It's not going to work. So my money's not safe, right? So actually, yeah, people buy into people, but they also do look at the deal figures. Maybe not in huge detail. The more they like you, they probably review it less, but they still need to know it's a good deal. Like my investors will always say, send me the deal pack, what's the stats, No matter how many times they've loaned to me, they always will, because it's important. Another level of due diligence is always welcomed and is expected. So make sure it's a good deal. If it's a risky deal, you'll still get investors. Some people are high risk, high reward, you pay more interest. But if it's a deal that you're kind of like, oh, you know what, I've just put 10 offers in and I can't get a house, and this one's kind of good, so let's just go for it, and you don't get funding and you wonder why, that's why. So the hard work has to go into it before someone will trust you with their money. So honesty, transparency, credibility was the second one. Well, the second one was trust / credibility. And then the third one was the actual deal. So present it nicely. Microsoft Word is okay. It's not as good as Microsoft Publisher, which is still Microsoft, so, it's not as good as Photoshop, Illustrator, or Canva. So, and this goes out to deal sources as well, maybe make your packs a little bit prettier. Yes, it's not about them being pretty, it's about them having a great deal within them. But we like pretty things, and we like things to look nice. If they look nice, they feel nice, they're just perceived better. Am I right? So maybe make a little more effort on the deal packs and present all the costs. Don't try and hide them. Show everything. So that is the end of a TED Talks special shorts. I'm saying short, so it sounds like we're at an indie film festival, yeah, I'm a shorts film producer, and I make films about the... Anyways, I think this has been useful. It's definitely been a bit of revision for me as well, and I hope it helps you find investors. So please let me know. If you're on YouTube, please comment and like below. If you're on the podcast, please leave a review, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I don't charge, I have no adverts, this all costs me money to run. So please, and I'm a buy-to-let investor, so I'm not like these service accommodation guys who are rich. So please share with your friends, tell people about it if you really like it. And thank you so much for listening and watching.